Hello and welcome, people of YouTube, to a tutorial with Dxtory 2.0.108. Now, this is, in my opinion, the best recording software out there for any type of gameplay. Unless you are looking for a special kind of recording software, like stuff like XSplit Broadcaster, then that might be a better choice for you. As you can see down here, XSplit Core.exe is being monitored because I'm using XSplit to record this video, not Dxtory. So when you open up your Dxtory window, it's probably not gonna say, probably not gonna have any profiles. It's probably not gonna say anything. It's also probably not gonna have this or anything down here unless you're running a game or some other kind of program that the GPU is in charge of. So this first page, this target tab, you don't really need to pay any attention to it. This button, ignore, right here. Let's say you have Sony Vegas Pro open. That's like an editing software, and I don't know about you, but if I have Dxtory running, then Dxtory puts a little frame rate marker on the preview window in Sony Vegas. If you really don't want it doing that, you can click the ignore setting, click add a new file or path, and click this little folder here. Then you're gonna find the the launcher, the exe file of that program. For instance, this would be under Sony, I think. If I can find you, Sony. Nope, it's in the regular program files, right? Sony Vegas Pro 12, and I would go right there. I would click on this and click open, but I don't really want to do that because I don't care, and then you just click OK, and then it would stop. This down here just tells you whatever programs it's monitoring. Right now I have a little frame rate counter on my XSplit window down there. The next tab, overlay. Now this is a Fraps kind of thing, only a lot better than Fraps in my opinion. So use the default setting. This means if you check this box, then whatever settings you set down here, the Dxtory will always use, no matter what game or program you open. I recommend you do that because it's really annoying to set like the same settings for each of these games, and I don't even have anywhere near all the games I have in here on my computer. Video FPS, write file FPS, and record status, you want all three of these to be checked. If you want more detailed descriptions of all these things, just hover your mouse over them a little bit. So non-recording status color, I like to keep mine at a nice green. Recording status color, I like to put a red, because that's what I used to use with Fraps. Movie capture frame and screenshot frame should not be checked. Just because. Just trust me because. And then over here you can click top left, left side, middle, left bottom, and all the way around for the position of the frame rate counter on any game window, or you can disable it. Next tab, folder. This is a must do. So if this is your first time using this program, you're not going to have anything here. You're going to need to press add folder. Then you're going to open up computer and select whatever drive you want. And first you want to get a place to record to. So I don't know about you, but I have a Kingston Hyper 3K SSD. And so if I click on that, here, that's my folder. That's my recordings folder. Click OK. If you don't have a folder, you can just click on Kingston HyperX and click OK. Okay, you have to have a folder, and after you do that, this will show up here. You want to make sure this box is checked, and then you're going to want to click this little circle right here called benchmark. Now you should not be recording or running any other programs or anything else on the drive or folder that you selected, unless you selected the default your local disk. Well, you can't really do anything about that. But if you're using a secondary storage device that you don't really use except for anything about recording in games, close down everything else that's not needed, that's running on that drive. Click this little red circle. Don't change this, don't change that. Just click run. Now, because I'm recording, this is going to be a bit slower than it normally is. 234 megabytes per second. That's what came out of it. So I'm just gonna press OK, and that basically, you do that, and what that is benchmarking. It's simulating, right? It's simulating a file being written in that folder on that hard drive and seeing the speed between it. So while recording, I get 234 megabytes per second. Not to be rude, but most of you probably aren't going to get that high of a number. But you really don't need that high of a number. If you have multiple hard drives that you like to record to, you can just do the same thing, add folder and select the hard drive and stuff, and you can just uncheck them, or you can move them on top of each other and uncheck them and stuff. The next one is the hotkeys tab. Again, use default settings for this folder. Oh my god, use default settings. For this folder, use default settings, definitely. And for this, all you need to do is these first two. So you're gonna click in the middle and press whatever button you want to have the thing be. So I don't know about you, but for start and stop the movie capture, I have the key that should be on the far right-hand corner of your keyboard. If you're using a full-size keyboard, it'll be the far top right-hand corner on the numpad, the little minus button. That's why it says num minus. The execute single screenshot is the star on the number. You can set some of these other stuff, but I'm not going to show you how to set up any of this other stuff. It's not really needed at all. So the next one is the most important, the movie tab. So once again, use default setting. We're going to start right here. The codec that you guys should be using is the Lagareth lossless codec. Now this is a codec that you have to download and install it. It's super easy to install. If you can't install it, if you can't figure out how to install it, then look up a YouTube video on how to do it. There's plenty of them out there. I'm not going to show you how to install them right now. I will have a link to the Lagareth lossless codec in the description. I will also have a link to Dxtory in the description. If you are trying to decide between buying Dxtory or buying Fraps, definitely go with Dxtory. One, because there's a crack for it. I'm pretty sure there's no crack for Fraps. And two, it's much better. It's a much better recording software. So some people say that the X264 VFW, all that MPEG 4 AVC codec is better if you have a high-end gaming PC. I'm not talking like, oh, I spent $800 or $900 on a computer, I have a high-end game. No. I'm talking about $1,600 gaming PC at least, and a desktop. I'm talking high-end processors and high-end everything. High-end processors. Sorry about that. High-end processors, high-end RAM, high-end everything. You're gonna want to go with that. But I'm kind of in between middle and high end. Like I'm closer to a middle end than a high end computer gaming wise. So I go with a lossless code. I can't say that. Moving on. Frame rate. You could select whatever frame rate you want. If you're going to be using this for YouTube, don't select any more than 30. There's 3 reasons why. One, because the higher your frame rate is, the more it's going to lag when you're recording. And the second reason is the higher your frame rate is, the bigger the file size is going to be. The third reason is YouTube does not all YouTube videos play at a solid 30 FPS, no higher. So if you select 120 and you record a video, YouTube will downgrade it to 30 FPS. So there's no point in doing a higher number if you're uploading to YouTube. File output, that's what you want. Direct show output, that's not what you want. You definitely want AVI, because raw cap is something more complicated. Include mouse cursor, doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter. Synchronize video FPS, it's synchronize the hold on. Synchronize. So this is like a VSync type thing. I actually want to check that. I'll show you guys why. That's like a VSync type thing, or the vertical sync. It basically synchronizes Oh. No, you don't want that. Sorry. So this is basically the other way around. It syncs the frame rate of the file that's outputting with the frame rate that you're getting in game. So you don't really want that. So the scaling you definitely want on size. 1280 by 720 is 720p, right? Is 720p HD resolution. That is a really good size. It's not that all that laggy. It's not all that big of a file size. It's not a big file size at all, as a matter of fact. And it's perfect for YouTube. Now if you want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm recording in 1080p, then you're gonna want to change this to 1920 by 1080. Keep in mind, this will increase the lag you get while recording, decrease the amount of frames you get in recording, and make the file sizes much bigger while recording. That's why I keep it on 720. There's no need to go up to 1080p recording, because if you have a program like Sony Vegas Pro, you can render it in 1080p, and then your video will still be in 1080p resolution, but with a 1280 by 720. Yep. That's what you want, guys. Yep. Alright, so now we're moving on to the audio. The audio works a little bit differently than fraps and stuff. When you first, obviously default settings and record sound, when checked, the audio is included in the movie. So if you want absolutely no audio from your microphone or from the game or from your computer, uncheck this thing, and you just want video. I would recommend checking it, because even if you don't want to include your microphone, then you don't have to add it as a device. So when you first set up Dxtory, you're not going to see these number 1 and 2. So you're going to want to go ahead and click plus. That's a 3 for me, so I'm going to take that away. The first one you're going to want to do is the speaker, whatever speaker you have outputting to your headset or your speaker system. So if it's the for me, it's the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on my Blue Yeti microphone that outputs. So I'm gonna click that. Just make PCM and PCM 1920,000 HZ 24-bit stereo. You might have to search for it. It's a big list, but that's the one that you want. Okay. Number 2 should be your microphone, not your like a speakers or anything, just your microphone that you talk into. You can actually adjust the volume of your microphone with this. Again, PCM 192,000 hertz 16-bit stereo. Yeah. Yep. I don't think there's Yeah, there isn't. Oh, there is one for the 20. No, that's mono. So there's no 192,000 for a stereo. So yeah, screenshot. You really don't need to mess around with this unless you like doing screenshots. Obviously PNG is the best decision. 0 to 100. 0 being the worst quality, 100 being the best quality. We keep in mind file sizes are affected by that decision, but come on, it's a screenshot. Unless you're taking 100 bajillion of them, it's not really going to matter. Scaling, you can have either in percent or size. I might actually do it by size. I like that. Alright. And keep in mind, we did this little folder thing, so it should be outputting to that folder. Yeah. So next is this little advanced tab. You always want to do default settings. This permanent hook. Basically, if you have a game running right here and you have Dxtory running, and it's the little frame rate counter. Let's say you press the exit button on Dxtory, but with the game running, when Dxtory closes, the game will crash. So basically, a permanent hook will keep the game from crashing. Don't do anything else. Yeah, don't do anything else here except for this processing threads. This is where you select how many cores your processor has. If you don't know or if you don't know that, then you're gonna press the Windows key, type in computer, right click on computer, and click properties. Keep in mind your screen might not look exactly like what mine just looked like. So, does it not say here? Oh wow, it does not say here. It doesn't say here. Lols. So that's okay. So if you look up here, this will tell you your type of processor. And I know that right here, my processor is a quad core processor. That means 4, in case you didn't know. So I'm gonna go up here to the device manager, load it. Now this is a bit tricky. If you find the little processors here and click the little extend button, you'll see that for me it shows 8 different ones. Then that's not the case. I do not have 8 cores on my processor. That's why it's a little tricky. I cannot remember off the top of my head where the section is that you find out how many cores your processor has. I'm pretty sure it's very easy and simple to find out. So once you find out, you can even take the name of your processor and Google it, find out how many processors there is. So after you select your processing threads, you're gonna want to click limit video FPS and select 30. This will basically prevent your game from causing your graphics card to work. Oh, hello, doggy. Okay, dogs on the keyboard. This will basically prevent your graphics card from being overworked by the game and basically being burnt up. The global tab, nothing really, nothing too much. There's a bunch of self-explanatory things. Okay, all right, guys. I gotta go. So my name is TheCoolGuy101. If you guys enjoyed this Dxtory short tutorial, I will see you guys later. Bye bye.